So I'll be live streaming to our YouTube channel, but just to remember we are on radio primary for this. And I love my computer. It bounced me out of literally everything that I was logged into, including this. So I'm gonna go to a different channel. And I will move it over after the show. All right. Welcome to AbilityMKE Now. My name is Sue Roscoff. AbilityMKE Now is a show all about integration, bringing people with disabilities and people that don't have a disability together, enjoying life here in the Milwaukee area. We all have different abilities, and here at AbilityMKE Now, we dive into this topic of diverse abilities. The concept of disability hits a wide range of possibilities. We could be talking about physical or mental disabilities, the deaf and hard of hearing community, blindness, chronic pain, mental health diagnosis, goals of substance use reduction, and the list goes on. We all have our own experience with disability, whether it's our own, with people we know, or with people we encounter in our daily lives. Here at AbilityMKE Now, we break down the barriers and celebrate the ability in all of us. I am so excited this evening to bring in a new friend to the show. Her name is Dharma Funder, and I have not yet had the chance to have a solid conversation with her. I am so excited she is joining us tonight because her reputation precedes her a bit. So Dharma is a transformative coach and empowerment expert dedicated to helping women break free from the chains of anxiety, self-doubt, and stress. With a journey shaped by overcoming incredible personal adversity, she now empowers others to turn their pain into purpose and reclaim their inner strength. So Dharma, welcome to AbilityMKE Now. I am so happy you are joining us tonight. How are you?
I am doing really well, and thank you so much for having me.
Thrilled you are here. I wonder, can you share a bit more about what you all do with us?
Well, knowing a little bit about the main theme of your show, I want to take the opportunity to share a little bit about why I am doing what I am doing. And having had chronic pain, suffering from a chronic migraine, knowing what it is like to actually be paralyzed, unable to walk, experiencing this suffering from an emotional pain that is reverberating through the body. It is something that is very close to my heart when we are surrounding ourselves with individuals. For example, I have a constant twitch in my eye, and you will see it all of a sudden, and people say, "Are you okay?" Yeah, I'm fine, but it is the nervous system overfiring. And people sometimes, why are you winking at me? It's, I'm not winking at you. And people are judging my appearance based upon what is happening to me. When my migraine kicks in, it will paralyze my right side and I can't walk. And I will start to have a slurred speech and my eye will go down. And it's just, people are like, "Are you okay?" I said, "I'm fine." And it's just how the world perceives me is my mission to help others have the ability to show up and stand in their confidence and just be better.
I love that. This is something that sounds like has been a lifelong journey of getting to where you are now. That so what inspired you to be at this point then where you are helping others in the way that you do?
I started working as human resources in larger corporations and firsthand got to see. how we are maybe not giving everybody the fair chance to, and because just because I may not look the same, or maybe because I am blind or deaf, I can still do the work. There's nothing wrong with my ability or my intelligence. Even if I'm paraplegic, I can still work and sell and be at the cash register. There's nothing wrong with my ability to perform. And I just reached a point where no more. You remember that movement that started no more? I think we all do. And that's the point where I say, you know what? I need to take this to the next level. And that's the drive.
Excellent. Yeah, I have a friend who's a full-time wheelchair user, and his thing, one of the phrases I remember from him all the time is "Look at my ability, not my disability." And because he is one
Exactly.
that being in the wheelchair all the time and has cerebral palsy, so it's something where his movement is a little jerky, he stutters. So on the surface, if you're not used to interacting with somebody with those characteristics, it can be a little uh, I don't know if what the right word is, a little scary, a little intimidating, a little bit like, oh my gosh, what don't know if this person's okay or not, because until you have that
Yep.
chance to have that experience. And he's one of my best friends today, so it's one of those where
Exactly.
we come from different places, we all have different experiences. So, and I know you had said something about having an experience with paralysis yourself. Do you want to
Yes.
talk about that a little bit?
I
Oh,
Sure. So I'm a survivor of domestic violence, and the stress of getting out of that situation and liberating myself was so stressful that my body just simply could not keep up. They initially thought that I had fibromyalgia because my body was, I was literally having these jerking moments and my body wouldn't stop. I couldn't see straight. I couldn't hold anything. It was just very strange. And I still remember sitting in the living room telling my husband something's wrong. And I just started falling over to the side and I was like, I am not feeling okay. Rushed me to the hospital. And as the time progressed, I went from having been a triathlete, running, biking, swimming, professional yoga therapist teaching Ashtanga yoga, really athletics, to not being able to walk down the hallway at the ER without a walker. I was dragging my right foot after me. I was dragging the leg and I couldn't talk proper. My entire the tongue, it was really scary. I was really humbled by the situation. I went through severe depression, sat in my sofa and just didn't want to do anything, couldn't eat on my own, couldn't go to the bathroom on my own. It was humiliating. And I don't know, I just kind of think I hit rock bottom. At one point, my husband told me, said, you know what, you better snap out of that because it does not look good. And I was like, what do you care? I was, even my attitude changed. But he was right. He was right. And something changed, something shifted. And I made up my mind. I am lucky today. I am walking. I am running again. I'm back on my treadmill doing half marathons. I'm never going to go back to where I were before. It's just not possible because it still flares up. But it turns out that I'm suffering from a hemiplegic migraine, which will paralyze my right side. So it's actually a condition. And all of a sudden, it was like, oh, it's a condition. That is something I can treat. That is something I can do something with. But what really struck a nerve for me was how I was treated during that period of time. It was, I'm sorry, it is not nice. Just because I'm unable to walk, you're treating me differently. Just because I speak differently or may have a slight lisp or a slur, which still happens, you're going to treat me differently. I'm all of a sudden less intelligent. I just did not want that to be the truth. And today, I am teaching yoga for paraplegics. I am supporting with mental health, transformative coaching, whatever it is, so that anyone can stand in their power because they don't know. And you know what I had wished the most, Sue?
What was that?
Ask me.
Yeah, what was
Ask
it?
me. Ask me. What's going on? Are you okay? What's happening? Don't be afraid. I'm not going to bite you. Talk to me. Talk to me. I'm a human being. I am a person. Talk to me. I'm not dangerous just because I may be doing things differently. So today, I stand up in front of audiences here, anywhere, everywhere where I can to make sure is that I will be your spokesperson. I will talk for you and I will say, just ask. Oh, I was teaching yoga to a blind guy. And he was so how am I supposed to do the yoga pose? Just follow my movements. And he ended up doing yoga. There is nothing you cannot do as long as we work together. It is how we show up and it's how we share. It's how we give each other the opportunity to move outside of our comfort zone.
I love that. And I know you say the whole concept of just ask. I can actually relate to that. The friend I was talking about that now we're the best of friends.
Mhm.
When we first met, it was all new to me. I was very uncomfortable. When he gets nervous, he stutters more. It's one of these things where we were actually at a friend's event. There's a potluck going on, and he was asking me a question, and he was nervous too because he didn't know many people there, and his stuttering was enough that I'm like, I don't know what to do. I actually went and got my husband because I'm like, I'm not sure what he wants, and I was like, I was all uncomfortable, and now in hindsight, it's like, oh my gosh, what the heck was I thinking? I mean, how ridiculous is that? It was a
Yeah,
communication piece that it's not hard. I just needed to have some patience and slow down and talk to them. We laugh about it in hindsight now,
yeah,
but truly, that's a lesson for everybody to hopefully learn at some point of it's okay to have the conversation. Ask. There's nothing wrong with asking. If you're
exactly.
asking too much, I'm sure whoever you're asking will say, I'd rather not answer that. And that's okay too,
I know.
Oh,
Yeah,
it
I had people that said, don't look, don't stare. I said, at least, please look, please say something. And kids are wonderful.
oh yes.
Children are wonderful because they will just show up and just ask you straight out. And it's like, thank you for asking. And their parents are like, no, 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 no. I said, please let them. They're brilliant because they just ask and they're just honest and they make it so much easier.
Totally agree. I love it. Having that openness of and curiosity and the willingness like that. They
Yes.
haven't had the social impact yet of, oh no, hush, you shouldn't talk, just let them be.
Yep.
It is
Just
so good
let
to
them
open the
be.
door to the conversation.
Yep. I often, when I was working with HR and said, no, we can't hire that person, I was like, why not? I said, let's at least have them prove their abilities before we judge. And it's just a mindset of what we think. And it's so disrespectful. I'm sorry. I'm just being very blunt. It's just,
You're absolutely correct. There's nothing you're saying that's not truth because people don't know what they don't know and are scared of what they don't know sometimes. So having that, it might take a
yes,
little extra effort to figure it out, but isn't that only fair to figure it out? Is this person a good fit? They have every right to have that job or whatever that position is as anybody else. And they might be
exactly.
better at it than the other person that you were looking at that you assumed was going to be less, I don't know what the right word even is, less challenging, less whatever the wrong assumption is there. Assumptions are just not a good
Exactly.
idea.
Well, it's so okay. So maybe if I am partially paralyzed on my right hand, would I have the same ability to make the same progress typing? Because if I'm having a lot of mistakes, I'm going to have to redo it, correct? So would I be as fast as somebody who was fully able and capable?
Probably not, realistically,
Uh,
but
Realistically, but the fact of the matter is that just because we are faster does not mean that we're better. So sometimes this, if we're a little bit slower, we may actually be more accurate. Plus, there are so many tools now that you can actually utilize that will help you type what you say. So that is no longer a valid explanation as to why somebody would not be able to be considered. I had a deaf individual come in when I was working at a construction site, and he said, I'm fully capable of doing all of this. And he was using his phone to communicate. And I said, cool, I can use my phone for this. And he was just, yes. And I was able to find him a job. And
awesome.
he was so surprised. He said, you really have a job for me? I said, yeah, well, you can still understand, right? You can't hear, so if I want your attention, I will have to tap you on the shoulder. So I can't yell at you. Maybe actually be an advantage because, but yes, it worked out. And he was the hardest working person I have ever had on that project.
That's again, look at the ability, not the disability. You're the thing that make
Exactly.
like with that individual, although they don't have hearing, the other pieces that they bring to the table are so much more valuable than somebody who perhaps does have the
Yes,
hearing. There are so many advantages, and it's a matter
exactly.
of being open to that.
Exactly. So I primarily focus on the person with the disability, even with brain injuries, with speech impairments, any of this to give them the confidence to show them otherwise. So that's what I do. But I've been on both sides of the table. So I know what they're up against and how to argue against it and what they need to show and be prepared for the pushback and the judgment.
Amazing. I love it. And I know we do have another friend that is joining us. I would love to bring her in and join this conversation. Debbie Miller is a
Yes, please.
wonderful friend of the show here. Debbie, come on in and say hello to everyone. How are you doing?
Thank you for the invitation. Yes, and I'm doing well, and I love coming here to Ability Milwaukee and saying hi to everyone.
Excellent. And have you met Dharma before? Is this the first you've met?
I think I have met her once before, but always need to spend more time so we get to know each other well.
Excellent. And yeah, that's one of the things I love about Happy Neighborhood Project. It is although we're worldwide, we actually are a very small neighborhood full of, of wonderful people that we've gotten to meet over time. It's been so fun to have so many great people. And I know, Dharma, you also, with what you're doing now with empowering others, do you have any stories perhaps that you can share of success you've had with somebody along the way? That might be a hard
I got a few. Well, I have one in particular with a brain injury and actually having the opportunity to continue life and going back to college and get a degree.
excellent.
So, with a brain injury, getting to the point of having had to drop out of college because it was impossible to even focus, to the point where this individual is about to graduate from college with a master's.
Oh my goodness. That is success. The change that has to happen even within a person to have that confidence that yes, I can do this, I can move forward, I can make this happen.
Yes.
And
Yes.
how
Another one that I've had is paralyzing anxiety to the point of actually having agoraphobia, not being able to go outside. And today she's running her own errands and going to the doctor on her own.
that is huge. That's amazing. And so how do people find you when they're interested? Because I can only imagine the number of people who could benefit from what you offer. Where can a person go to find out more information?
They can find me on LinkedIn. That would be the best place to find me.
Excellent. And for those that need, well, people would need to know how to spell your name for that. So I will go ahead. Her name is Dharma. It's Dharma. Last name Funder, Funder. So again, Dharma. Funder is Funder. So finding it's easy to find people on LinkedIn, so just a matter of going in that search bar and putting in your name. You can find us there as well. Ability MKE Now's on there. I know Debbie Miller's in there. We'll all be able to connect and find out more of all the wonderful things. So I know that you mentioned about yoga. Do you have any
Yes.
tell me a little bit more about what you do with yoga and how that has helped your journey.
Well, as a 12-year-old, I was raped and beat up so badly that I was actually in intensive care for a week. And afterwards, my body had kind of been messed up a little bit and tried a lot of different things. And by chance, actually came across a yoga class in the local library and was able to go into what is known as the plow position. And my lower back popped. And for the first time in years, I was pain free.
Wow.
So, yoga to me is that powerful. And it doesn't even have to be that you need to stand on your head. You don't have to get into all these pretzels. That's not necessary. There's no real healing benefit from that. People will disagree. That's fine. But it doesn't matter how you do the pose as long as you do it within your ability. So, with paralysis, when I was paralyzed, I would still be doing some yoga. And it became the tool that I was able to move back into full immobility.
That is so powerful. I know my own mother had a time in her life too where she had some mobility issues, and that was something that was recommended to her was, why don't you try yoga? And I know her first
Yes,
reaction was, at my age, I'm going to do yoga for the first time. And she said she agreed it helped. She was open to it and it helped. And I'm sitting here thinking like,
yes.
this has come up so many times in my around me in the last handful of years. I don't know why I haven't personally done it yet. I'm one of those that I have never
Try it
done
out.
yoga.
It is not about flexibility. It is not about whether or not you can get your forehead down onto your knees or wherever. That's not the goal. If you can breathe, you can do yoga. Find the right teacher, and they will help you improve the quality of your life.
So, Debbie, have you ever gone and done anything with yoga in your time, or is this a new thought for you too?
I have not, but it sounds intriguing for sure. Mobility is probably for anybody that's over, I don't know, 25 or something, being able to be a little more mobile is always beneficial. So, and I'm certainly over 25 by several times. But anyway, yeah, being mobile is it's a really nice thing. So that is great to know. And I know
Yeah,
Sue,
age is not a limitation.
with your moving at noon on your show, that may not be technically yoga, but it is definitely moving. So
You know,
Yes.
that actually is a great dot to connect. Thank you, Debbie, because we do something that we call the 12 o'clock shakedown, which was started by a friend who's actually into percussion. So he used like maracas or, something to actually shake and have some sound to it. And 15 minutes of music in motion. And he started that when COVID started, so that he was also an individual with MS. So with that, and all of a sudden losing the whole thing of going to work actually physically affected him. He needed to keep moving more in order to keep being able to move like he wants. So he made that commitment that 12 o'clock noon, join me on Zoom. We're going to shake and to do something fun to music for 15 minutes. And we still do it today. And he doesn't anymore
Nice.
because now that life's back to normal, that would be too much extra for him mobility wise, that's not beneficial anymore. But there's enough of us that hop on every day, because actually the last couple of years now, I've been the one leading that. And as we're talking, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, if I could learn some yoga, we could add doing different things than what we're doing now, and that could enhance thing. Oh my gosh. Okay, you just opened my mind to all sorts of possibilities right now. So I am so appreciating that. I should share the link with you, Dharma, so that you could come join us sometime if it would fit in your schedule, just to come and give us some advice and maybe some new moves we can use that would be helpful for all of
Definitely.
us. That would be amazing.
Yeah, you can even do yoga on a chair.
That's perfect, because actually some of the people that join us that's what they have. They have a chair with wheels. That's the only place they are. We've
Perfect.
got a variety of different ability levels in the group, physically speaking. So we always say, just do what you can, and that's adapt it to whatever works for
Perfect.
you, and it's just fun. And even on the social side, to have that outlet of being able to connect with people and to know that I just have to show up there. I'll have friends there. And if they're not my friend yet, they will be soon, because it doesn't take long to get to know our fun little group. So, and I know we're coming down near the end here. I do want to give you, Dharma, a chance to share any final thoughts that you may want to share, any take home message, or what. I've been so appreciative of having you here.
Well, there is no disability that should ever stand in your way from accomplishing your dreams.
Absolute truth. I love that. That is words that everybody should follow. Oh my goodness. Debbie, any final
Yes.
thoughts from you, hon?
well, I guess I'd just throw in that all of those abilities and disabilities are not really what restricts us, but be sure you have your own legal team to make sure you can stand up to any of those people that try to slow you down. And LegalShield is here to help, and I'm glad to help with that as well.
Dharma and Debbie, thank you so much for joining us here at Ability MKE Now. I absolutely enjoyed this so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.